Hey everyone, welcome back to Elemental Cartomancy. Today I am coming on to do an unboxing and the first impressions of Tarot of the She. Okay guys, let's move the keyboard out of the way, we don't need that. Um, yeah, so that's a funny story. I thought that this was out of production. I thought this was one of these decks that was, out of production and mega expensive if you ever wanted to try and get it on eBay. And turns out I was completely wrong. It was £16.99 on Amazon and I got it next day delivery. So there you go. Should always check, I guess, eh? So as you can see, the cellophane's still on this. I've not opened it, so this is going to be very much my first impressions of it, which is different to the kind of walkthroughs that I normally do. Normally, I've kind of worked with it for a bit and looked through, read the book a bit, but this is maybe going to be hopefully a wee bit quicker than what we normally do. So let's get into the cellophane now. Hopefully, I can do this bit of it quite quickly. First thing I would say is, it's a nice kind of durable hard box that it comes in. Um, this is made by Schiffer. There we go. I'll stick that in the bin. So yeah, it's a two-part box, quite durable. So it's going to keep the cards well protected, which is always good. It comes with, I would say this is like a medium white book, and it appears to have. So is that 2 pages for each major, and for the minors, I think we're getting a lot less for the minors. Yeah, so we seem to have like a wee poem for each card, and then just some keywords in the minors. Sorry, I'm not holding that in a way you can see it, am I? Let me just see if I can fix the zoom on my camera actually. Okay, so let's try that again. So if I hold that there, yeah, we can see that a lot better. That's good. And I need to remember that I need to keep changing the zoom to continuous on my camera each time I make a new video, which is a bit annoying, but I just need to remember. So yeah, for the majors, we seem to be getting a good few paragraphs, the keywords, and then author's notes. And then for the minors, it's a fair bit less. Like I say, you get a wee poem here, and you get the kind of keywords that they associate to the suit. Now the four suits in this are quite different. So in this deck we have Dreamers, which is the suit of air, so that would normally be sword. We have Warriors, which I believe is fire, so would normally be wands. If I could turn the pages. Yeah, Warriors is fire. Dancers is water, and then is it makers? Yeah, maker is earth. Okay, so the cards come with a kind of wee cellophane band around them to keep them together. This is the cardstock is very much like the first edition of the Mary L. It's this kind of laminated, sticky cardstock that's not very slidey. The backs are lovely. We get the black with this, and I forget what this is called and what it means, but I'll need to look that up. But yeah, these are the backs, and then we have the fronts. So I'm thinking I'm probably going to trim this. Potentially just maybe take the sides off it, and leave the number in the title, or who knows, maybe let's see. So yeah, so we get keywords here. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Um, anyway, let's have a look at the actual cards themselves. So we've got our fool here. So this is interesting because Unlike in other decks where we see the fool about to take that leap off the side of the cliff, in this deck the fool has actually taken the leap, and we see him falling, mid-falling. So that's quite unusual from what I can remember. We do see this kind of sunrise behind the fool here. And the fool has this kind of really fire, the kind of red hair and the red, what looks like red ribbons coming out from around about him. So a really kind of fiery energy in our fool here. The magician has this kind of genie type look about them. In fact, I say genie, it's not. It's a merman, isn't it? I just noticed the tail there. I didn't quite fully know what I was looking at there. The hair is like the branches of a tree, which is pretty cool. And they're holding fire in each hand. So we've got the fire in the hands. We've got earth is represented by the kind of the hair being like a tree. We've got the wings for air, and then we've got the merman's tail, which would be associated to the element of water. So very much kind of using the elements that are at their disposal. That's quite cool. The high priestess. So eyes, the two eyes are closed, but then the third eye appears to be open. Um, Holding the rainbow in the hands here is a beautiful image. Love how the dress is. It looks as though it's actually made of water, which is pretty cool. Empress, beautiful garden here. And again, it looks as though, our dress is actually. So the picture of the garden is on the Empress's dress, but it looks very kind of vivid and real. The Emperor. You're really getting that fire energy here, aren't you? You can really make that kind of strong Aries association, I think, to this card. Um, you can see this looks like a kind of village. It looks as though it's kind of showing homes, which makes me think of that kind of stability that we associate to the Emperor. I'm going to have a look on the book and see if I can see what the symbol is quickly, because it's annoying me that I don't know. What I'll do. Okay, guys, so I stopped there to do a wee bit of reading. So this is the Great Glyph of the Sidhe, and I think basically the intention of it is it's meant to be a portal. You're supposed to kind of meditate and focus on it, and it clear your mind, and it just kind of opens you up to that kind of world of the Sidhe. At least that's my understanding. So there we go. That's that question answered. For number five, we've got the Elder rather than the Hierophant. Um, so we do get this kind of feeling of this wise person. And if you look at the tree, well, there's a face on it. We see the kind of wise old tree. Um, I love that. Is this a snake? Or is it a lizard? I'm not sure. It looks quite serpent-like. But yeah, again, beautiful image that we have here. Got the lovers. So it's interesting. So we appear to have this couple here. There's I can see two snakes in the trees. It's not quite Caduceus-like, because they're just wrapped around their own branches, I think, but you kind of see them intermingling here. The one of the lovers is holding up a sword, which is interesting imagery for a lover's card. We see this water pouring from the trees down here, and we see these two beings up here in the tree. So one appears to be holding the moon, and one is holding fire. So we really kind of see this. We're getting this kind of harmony of opposites. You see it here in the water and the fire. Um, perhaps this is a warrior and this is a maiden. The sun and the moon. And we have the kind of two snakes. So yeah, finding harmony and opposites. Chariot. This is beautiful. This is lovely. I really like this. That it's like two sides to the same. I was going to say horse, but it looks more kind of Pegasus-like, doesn't it? Because it's got wings. But one half of it is black and one half is white. Um, so it's quite clever, and I'm surprised that it's not done like this more, given that the black horse and the white horse are supposed to represent different aspects of the self. Um, so yeah, I really really like this. This is a beautiful chariot. This might be one of my favorite chariots that I've ever seen. We've got justice at number 8. So again, balancing different forces. Taking into account different points of view. Um, it's that kind of Libra energy, isn't it? Balancing scales and trying to find the most just way forward, the truth in the matter. We see, I think that's a sword there, isn't it? Um, could that be the sword of truth? The hermit. I just love the art style in this deck. It's absolutely stunning, so it is. It's not very often we see a hermit during the day. Normally, hermit is a kind of nighttime card, just in my experience. Um, but yeah, rather than holding a lantern, it looks like he's holding a scroll in this hand. You can see it there. Beautiful card. Wheel of Fortune. Not immediately obvious what's happening here. See, we've got like some sort of wheel structure here. I'm not sure. Do we see it as this person, quite affluent and well off? They've kind of got plenty on their plate, and this person's barely got anything. Is that what we're looking at? Is it this kind of, you know, everyone has their time type message? In the background, we see, this tree appears to be partially on fire. We see lightning striking, and we see someone standing up on the hilltop here. Sorry, I'm holding it behind myself. That's not very helpful. Strength. This great dragon. That is a pretty cool strength card. The I take it this is one of the she here that's riding the dragon. Um, so they've managed it. It's not shown as a lion. It's a dragon. You're not just taming a lion. You're taming a dragon. Sometimes it feels like that. When you're dealing with those aspects of yourself. The Hanged Man. This is pretty cool. So are we looking at it? I'm trying to work out how we're looking at this tree. It's actually quite difficult to tell, so I can't tell if that's the tree going down or if that's it going up. And this is, I suppose that kind of looks like the sky, doesn't it? but it's got me thinking about perspective, which is the point in the Hangman card, isn't it? It's all about taking a different perspective, seeing things differently in order to gain new enlightenment on the situation. So that's it's pretty nicely done, I think. Death. So we're quite often in a few of the cards we're seeing this kind of portal or doorway uh in the hill. Where else have I seen that? I say we see it quite often. I've probably seen it in one other card. So we kind of see it in the Wheel of Fortune here. And we've got the two trees, the figure on the hilltop, and we have the kind of the gateway under the hill. Both cards represent change. So is this the portal that we have to go through? Is this the change that we have to go through? We have an owl here, but what is that behind it? It almost looks like butterfly wings, doesn't it? We have all these candles. Oh, we do see butterflies actually. We see them kind of flying off into the vortex here. Temperance. So this looks like the dress looks as though it's making a big kind of water bubble, but inside we're seeing this solar fiery energy. So we've got the sun here and the moon here. Temperance is all about, finding that balance, all of the different areas of your life, um, finding that balance between them all. Pan instead of the devil. So let's see what the book says about this card. I'm quite curious. So let's see. Pop it there so you can still see it. So Pan, sweet, sweet nectar I offer you, and all the primal longings of nature. I am your lust and your fulfillment. I am the indulgence of desire. I am the ecstasy of abandon and the thrill of the dance. Love yourself and me a while. Sorry, lose yourself in me a while, and we will dance the spiral path in a giddy chase of earthly passion. I will hold you fast, yet set you free from all those concrete walls and boundaries you weave around yourself. I am the music of the wild forest, the drum of the pounding heart. My blood will ever pulse within your veins, for we are all divine and wild beasts beneath. Dance with me, I will release you, I will pleasure you, I will enchant you. Drink with me, that you might forget why you refused before. I am the spirit of the dance, I am the lord of the wild. Indulge me and release. Join with me and pass the gates of your desire. And the key words here given are pleasure, indulgence, lust, longing, addiction, material goods, attachment, abandon, wildness, ecstasy, and nature. Okay, so that's what the book says about Pan. So we really do get that kind of lust and desire from this card. And whether it's Pan, whether it's the devil, I kind of read them in a similar way. It's all about being led by your desires. Quite often we do that to our detriment. We forget that, we need to do a risk benefit analysis on what we're doing. We need to think about the risks that are associated, and sometimes we forget to do that, especially when we're in this devil energy, when we're so strongly led by desire. Tower. So quite a different tower image. Um, we see this is a mask that's been blasted apart. So it looks as though this person's been wearing this mask for a time, but this energy is coming along and just blowing it off. So it gives a different feel. Rather than being careful of the material things that you acquire and build your life around. This makes you think of like kind of the masks that are associated with all those. What masks are we associating with those material things? What are we trying to convey with each of those material things that we acquire that we don't really need? What mask are we putting on, or what mask are we trying to put on? Um, so it really kind of brings it to the self, rather that the focus is on the self and the effect that everything has on the self, rather than those kind of external things that we put our faith in. The star, it's simple, but it's beautiful. So it is. So the hands are extended thus, get this kind of guiding light. Um, if you look at the eyes, these big emotional eyes, you really feel as though this person is here to help, to guide, to help you in your time of need. The moon. So we've got all the different phases of the moon here, which is pretty cool. And if you look at the reflection, how the person is seeing the reflection, it's completely different. They're seeing someone who's blonde and they're, dark haired. It looks as though there's, if I maybe hold it like that, it looks as though we've got lots of people gathered here. So yeah, the moon can be quite a deceptive light. It can be a really kind of confusing place to be. And we kind of see that reflected in this card. Beautiful image, so it is. Look at the sun. So you really get this kind of joyful, happy feeling from this card. You can see all the people dancing and celebrating together. And she's holding out her hand to us and asking us to join in. Join in all the kind of jovialness, if that's even a word. And we see this cliff of the she and the sun, so the judgment. It's interesting. So we appear to, it looks as though she's breathing out. I don't know if this is meant to be sound shown in the image, or yeah, I'm not really sure what we're seeing there. I think this is another one we're going to have to go to the book for. Right, okay, so it says, I am the golden trumpet of the higher voice. I am the herald of a new age. That which is hidden will be known to all, and those that were cast out shall once more ride the crests of the mountains. Above the clouds and on the highest peak I stand and sing the truth of my soul. All is open, all is known. I present myself without shame. With upright palms and wings outstretched, my destiny is clear. What was broken shall be known, shall be whole. Unseen shall be once more seen, and all shall ascend to glory. I am the peak of aspiration. I am the chorus of the ether. I am evolution. I am revolution, expanding and contracting with the cosmic breath. So I won't keep reading and reading, but there's reference to this breath and speaking, the truth and all that kind of thing. And judgment is when we step outside Plato's cave and see the world as it truly is. To use the Plato's cave analogy. So it appears to have this connotation of, the truth being known finally, being freed from, illusions and misconceptions and all that kind of thing. The world, this beautiful tree, and we see it from both sides. Again, we're seeing the sun in the daytime here, and then here we've got the moon and this kind of beautiful night sky. And it's like it's this oneness, it's um, you know, achieving fulfillment in all areas of life, both the kind of conscious and the unconscious. It's the alignment of the conscious and the unconscious selves. Okay, so let me just pop these in my usual order. So I've got fire, air, water, and earth. Okay, so the warrior, so this is the equivalent of the ace of fire, ace of wands. So we have the warrior up top and fire, which is the element that it's associated with, and we get this really strong fiery energy here coming through. Just oh, dearie me, confusing myself. Warrior 2, and the key word here is power awakes. So you've got the kind of two paths. You've got these two dragons. So if you see the two as choices, you can get that from here. If you see it as, learning to use your tools, building your portal, really kind of planning the journey ahead, then you can also pull that from here. So this is quite a nice card. Warrior 3. It's nice that, there's movement in this card. They appear to be doing something, um, taking their step through that portal. So for me, the 3 is a card of growth and action and expansion and all that kind of thing. The keyword here is alignment. Warrior 4. It's quite traditional vibes, with a couple here, and they've got their home, which again we're seeing this kind of doorway under the hill. It looks almost like a hobbit hole, if anyone's a Lord of the Rings fan. Five, action frustrated. So we get this kind of conflict, both from the crossed spears here and from the kind of people that are holding on to this person and stopping them from moving. Warrior 6, so we can really kind of feel the triumph here. No, we've got the person here who's the victor, who's the person who's won, and then we've got the crowd cheering them on, and the exchange of energy between the two entities. The keyword no foe too great. Warrior 7. So you've got the flaming sword here. Keyword is a hero's challenge. And you can see these people off in the distance, I suppose, about to challenge our main character here. So look at the use of colour, look at the colours in the hair there. It's absolutely beautiful. Eight. Dragon flight. So you're really getting both the energy from the fire energy, the movement, the fast movement from, the flight aspect of it. You can see that this person is standing on the dragon, so they're riding that energy, they're riding the dragon. They're using it to progress, to get themselves from one place to another. Warrior 9 is the guardian. So their wings are wrapped around themselves, they're protecting themselves. Warrior 10 is a great task. So you can see this person is bridging the gap between these two places. Between night and day. So is this the land of the She, and this is shown as the human world? Can I call it that? And they're meeting in the middle here, and this person is kind of the bridge between the two. The warrior princess. So we've got princess, prince, queen, and king in this deck. It says the gift of courage. Our warrior prince is the gift of spirit. Look at the fire energy coming out of his hand. Warrior queen, the gift of charm. It's nice that we kind of get the water and the fire energy coming here. And warrior king, the gift of glory. Okay, next we have our dreamers, which is the suit of air. So we have the dreamer. Just the idea, the fresh set of eyes, the fresh mindset. Dreamer 2, half moon truce. Love this. This is beautiful. Dreamer 3, soul loss. So there's a strong focus on, the kind of traditional Rider-Waite-Smith meaning of the Three of Swords. We see the hole in the chest here. It looks as though these three birds are eating her heart. You've got all this kind of tumultuous energy coming out of the head here. Dreamer 4 is Restoration. So they look as though they're doing yoga or some sort of meditation or something to me in order to heal from the pain of the three. Dreamer 5, Hope Discarded. So we don't really get that traditional kind of winner and loser type feeling from this. This is more like, this person has chosen to throw their sword away. So it's an active choice that they've made to do that. So just be careful about the choices that we make. Dreamer 6, Insight's Voyage. So we've got the beautiful imagery with the boat here. And they're being guided by the breath of this being. You can see the sword on the mast. Gosh, struggling there. So you've been guided from a difficult situation to calmer waters. Dreamer 7, A Coward Betrays. So we're really kind of getting the dishonesty and betrayal from this card. Dreamer 8, A Web of Mirrors. Dreamer 9, Nightmare. I love this. It's a pretty cool 9 of swords. And look at all it's like a mountain pathway up to the eye or the head. All of the people that have fallen along the way. Dreamer 10, Desolation. So it looks like a pool of blood and you've got all these hands coming up through it. Wow, the trees have been ripped from the ground. Dreamer Princess, The Gift of Telling. Dreamer Prince, The Gift of Liberty. Dreamer Queen, Gift of Reason. Dreamer King, The Gift of Judgment. Okay, so we now come on to the dancers. So we've got the dancer, water for our ace energy. Dancer 2, soulmates. Dancer 3, jubilance. Dancer 4, Vain Reflection. Dancer 5, Where Loss Resides. Quite a traditional 5 of water feeling, isn't it? It's even raining. Dancer 6, Born of Joy. Dancer 7, Illusion's Depths. Dancer 8, Escaping Stagnation. Dancer 9, Make a Wish. And Dancer 10, Heart Song. This is beautiful. Just love this multicoloured energy. It's just such a happy card. Okay, Dancer Princess is our gift of, excuse me, expression. Dancer Prince, the gift of passion. See the cup in the, I think that's the moon. Dancer Queens, the gift of truth. It's interesting to see truth being associated to the Queen of Cups. And Dancer King, the gift of wisdom. Really watery king here. Okay, and the last suit is the Makers. So this is our ace. Maker 2 is responsibility. Doesn't look like someone who's taking much responsibility, does it? Maker 3, labour's fruit. So you can see this energy coming off their hands here. And it's going into making this grow. Maker 4, the greedy tree. Maker 5, winter's bite. Really nice image. As much as it's meant to be a difficult card, I love how it's done. I love that the tree is a person almost. Maker 6, generosity. So you get this kind of feeling of, because it's fruit from the tree, it looks as though the fruit is actually falling. It's like, take what you need, no more, no less. You know, if you take all of the apples from the tree, then there won't be any for anyone else. Maker 7, effort sustained. Maker 8 is emergence. So a Maker 7 looks like the work that's going in to achieve Maker 8. So this is them creating the sacred space, and this is the result. This was their aim, and this is them getting what they worked hard for. Maker 9, root and blossom. Maker 10, kingdom prospers. Okay. Maker princess is the gift of creativity. Maker prince is the gift of connection. You can see him connecting with the animals here. Maker queen is the gift of healing. And Maker king, the gift of skill. Okay guys, so I've been giving these a shuffle. We'll do our usual interview spread with it. Um, as much as the cardstock is quite sticky, they are quite good to riffle. Whoops. And yeah, overhand, as I say, they are quite sticky, but they're not that bad. So yeah, that's the deck's on. Oh, for goodness sake. It's not too bad a deck to shuffle. It's fine. It's a nice size, at least for my hands, although admittedly my hands are quite big. Um, so yeah. Anyway, let's do our interview spread with it, just to get to know the deck a bit more and see it how it wants to be used. So the first question in the interview spread is tell me a bit about yourself. So we have Maker Queen, the gift of healing. Okay, so would be the equivalent to our Queen of Pentacles. And really focusing in on the healing aspect here of the earth. So we're coming to this deck when there is stuff that we need to heal. When we have perhaps got those psychological, emotional wounds, when we're just kind of not feeling ourselves, and we want to get to the root of the problem and get answers on how do we start that healing process. So this is going to be a really great deck for that. And we see this queen. She looks at one with nature. She almost looks quite tree-like. In fact, she is a tree essentially. She's shown as the trunk of the tree. We have all this expanse of, greenery up here, and she's rooted to the earth here. Um, so a really kind of earthy energy is what I'm getting. Um, the next card is about what the deck's strengths are. Okay, and we've got Dancer King. So this is our King of Water, the gift of wisdom. Okay, so wisdom I think is something that we all need in our lives and we all look for in a tarot deck. Sorry, I'll keep my hand out of the shot so as the focus stays on the cards. The King of, Dancer King is that kind of negotiation. The wisdom and the Water King comes from his power of negotiation, his ability to take into account the emotions of everyone and come up with a solution that best fits the greater good. Limitations or weaknesses. So we've got the Maker and Earth. Okay, so that's quite an interesting card to come up as a weakness. So that's like the very root. So it's the very starting point. So maybe this isn't a deck to come to when you're right, when you're looking for direction to on how to start the project, especially I'm getting the Earth suit in this deck has real kind of creative feeling about it. So perhaps creative projects, if you're thinking about starting one or if you are just starting one, um, and you're looking for direction on what to do, where to go, all that kind of thing, perhaps this isn't going to be the best deck for that. It might be better suited to more, emotional, psychological type problems. Um, Maybe even as a deck that's good for creativity, but it's more like to kind of cheer you on rather than get you started. Okay. The next one, what are you here to teach me? We've got Dancer 3. So, jubilance is the key word here, and it's the party card, isn't it? It's just how to enjoy yourself, how to foster those emotional connections, and really kind of grow your connection to your connections to other people, and just enjoy yourself. You know, how can I best learn from and collaborate with you, Warrior Prince, Gift of Spirit? This is the kind of Knight of Wands type energy. It's that real fiery action energy. This is just use through use. Use me, use me, use me. Do you know what I mean? That's essentially what that card is saying. I want to be used. I want to be shuffled. I want to be put on the table. I want to be, I want to get really in and amongst it. I don't want to be sitting on a shelf. I don't want to just kind of sit and go stagnant. Fire energy, it needs to be used. That fire needs to be burned off. And then a potential outcome of our relationship together is the Emperor. So this brings the idea of really kind of bringing order out of the chaos, bringing some stability into the situation. So that's always nice to see, a nice kind of stabilizing force in my life. So yeah, there we go. That's our interview spread, and that was the Tarot of the She, which is available on Amazon for anyone who wants it. So thanks very much for watching, guys. I hope that you've enjoyed this. Until I see you next time, I hope everyone's well and take care.